Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us is Alex Coffey, market strategist at TD Ameritrade, for an update on technical levels to watch in the Nasdaq-100. We'll also take a look at trends in the Nasdaq-100 Volatility Index, this is what we call Vol-Q. It's great to see you as always, Alex. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jill. It's always a lot of fun here, even on the holiday shortened week.
Yes, it certainly is. There's always something going on in the market, certainly as of late. And I want to take a look at your first chart here. It seems as if that 12,000 level, if we look at it from a year-to-date perspective, seems to be the line in the sand right now.
No doubt about it. And Jill, for those who have caught our talks before on here, I like to keep things simple and kind of use things that we see in our everyday lives to help analogize and symbolize things for better understanding. This is somewhat of a traffic light type of a chart here, in the sense that there's three price levels being laid out that correspond to different levels that we've seen different types of trading activity. You first mentioned the 12,000 point mark, which is the yellow line here. It's sort of a caution line. We could really go one way or the other. We've both ran out of momentum here recently, and we've also, of course, at times bounced from this level. So sort of remains to be seen here as we enter a more seasonally slow part of the year that has tended to drift higher in years past, but we'll see how it goes. From there, though, we have both the red and the green lines. And again, in technical analysis, it's more about areas than exact lines in the sand. And if you look at this here, and kind of rounded it off, around 10,500 was essentially the year-to-date low, and the low for this move in the Nasdaq-100. That's going to be our green line. That's been an area that we've bounced from most recently, but also could be an area where support could come into play again if there is additional selling. And then, of course, the most recent point at which we fell for a significant downtrending move was up near that 13,500 point mark to kind of create the symmetrical pattern here, kind of sideways, and that, of course, is the red line, is possibly an area where resistance could kick in here if you do see a sustained move higher into the last month of the year.
And if we take a look at the heat map here, what stocks are leading the way?
Yeah, on today's trading activity, there's just a ton of green across the board. In real time, you have 77 of the Nasdaq-100 names green. So obviously, a lot of green is really what sticks out here. But interestingly enough, a couple of the names that I see that are doing quite well are some of the semiconductor names. You see NVIDIA doing all right today, up nearly 4%, AMD up nearly 3%. These are important names if the Nasdaq-100 is going to take its spot once again as the kind of leading and best performing index amongst U.S. equities. You need those semiconductor names, particularly AMD and NVIDIA, to be leaders.
And let's take a look at the Nasdaq-100 Volatility Index, or what we call Vol-Q. If you take a look at this from October, Alex, this is down nearly 20%.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is where you kind of look to more indicators when you're in that kind of caution zone, as we looked at on the Nasdaq-100 year-to-date chart, for more clarity and more confirmation of maybe what's to come next. And I think that you're starting to see, obviously, calmer waters in the market. We haven't seen quite as volatile of swings recently, and that's being reflected by volatility of the Nasdaq-100 coming down substantially, as you said. It itself is also sort of in kind of a no man's land, if you will. We've certainly seen lower vol-Q, even just this year and in recent moves. But obviously, as you pointed out, I think that's the critical takeaway, just how far we've seen volatility come down, and possibly encouraging as we have just over a month and a couple of weeks left in the year.
All right, Alex, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.